Today marks 1210 days sharing lessons I've learned and continue to learn with all of you. Well, I hope that these sunsets inspire you, support your dreams, help you achieve your goals, and really empower you to become the person that you want to become. Today, speak about lessons or wisdom that we need to gather from life. I think that a lot of times we have understanding, but I think that when we grow, we have better understanding and be able to really look into priorities in life, what we're supposed to focus on. So today we'll share like lessons lessons I learned, and I think that's very, very important, is and those understandings that really allows us to live a beautiful life. Number one is that humility and servanthood over power. I think when we really want to live a meaningful, joyful life, what are you supposed to seek? I think you're supposed to seek servanthood, humility, because I think that when you actually seeking the right thing, when you're seeking humility, when you're seeking the servanthood, at that moment, I think at that moment you're able to have that power. Because I think that a lot of times when people seek power, people could get power, but that power will be short term, temporarily, because you're able to use that power in the not right way. But when you seek humility, when you seek servanthood, when you receive that power, that means that you're able to serve with that power for a long, long, long time. And you're able to live a meaningful, joyful life. I think that if you have power, but you do not have the humility, not have servanthood, at some point that power will not be helping you. I think that's truly believe that when you overuse your power, I think that inside you're able to be broken. Outside you will see successful, but inside you look broken. Number two is that forgiveness is not optional. I think that a lot of times, including myself, we don't want to forgive. We don't want going to carry that grudge with ourselves. But probably I've heard it that forgiveness is not about other person. Forgiveness about you. Especially when you try a lot of different things, explore. It might be there's a lot of people let you down. It might be that you let a lot of people down. And until you forgive yourself and others, you'll not be forgiven as well. I truly believe that. That's it. Until you forgive someone else, you'll not be forgiven. And that's why I think that a lot of times we need to really be able to forgive so we can really remove that garbage, remove those luggages that we're carrying all those around. And it's one of the truths and understandings that we need to have. And I think that this we need to always speak about it, forgiveness, being able to really move through that so we can really achieve great things. Number three is the value of quiet, hidden faith or vision. I think this is very, very important. A lot of times we want to be out loud. We want to be loud with our goals, with our aspirations, with our faith, with our visions. But of course, it depends on the person. Some people want to be quiet, some people want to be loud. I think that the beauty is in being able to be quiet. Because sometimes when you really share your vision, share your faith, share your goals, it sounds it sounds more motivational for yourself and others. But motivation is supposed to be the thing that you're able to really sit down on your bed by yourself and be motivated at that moment. Nobody's able to see you. Are you able to take action when nobody's able to see you? That's when true action is. Like when you say that, okay, do I have motivation? We need to look into, okay, like, do I have motivation when nobody's looking? Is that is that the moment when you really say nobody's looking? Maybe I'm able to give just a minimum. But when someone will look at me, I will give 100%. But now nobody's watching, I will give minimum. And that's it again. Show how much do you actually have that faith? How much do you have that vision? How much do you have that dream and goal in your heart? How much effort do you put in and nobody's looking? There's value being quiet and still making things happen. Number four is love your enemies. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Love your enemies. Why is that? Because a lot of times when you think about enemies, you potentially have negative feelings, negative emotions, but a lot of times those enemies is making you better. So that means when we look into enemies, we understand how those enemies is making me better. And love enemies, go and see them and develop them. And then a lot of times those, if you actually love your enemies, those enemies will become your friends. But at the same time, when we really look at enemies as an opportunity to really develop yourself, because what it shows It's very easy to love your friends. It's very easy to love your family. But what it shows when you are the highest level of love is that unconditional love. So that means a person who is potentially will love you, do hard for you, but you're able to still say that you are a human being. And I love you because of that. Not because you are trying to earn, because you have a unique value. Every single person is having value. I think that is very, very powerful when you're able to really see through external things and being able to see person through a spiritual being. And I don't think that deserves love. And I truly believe that every single person deserves love. Maybe their behavior are terrible. Maybe they are evil from their actions. But I think that internally, spiritually, they are lovable. Number five is trust and timing. I think that's very, very important. Sometimes we just quit because we think that our time is supposed to be a week, our time is supposed to be a month, our time is supposed to be 2 months, including like getting a healthy body, like abs, having a business scale and a certain level. And sometimes we need to trust the timing. And sometimes you say that it's not my timing. I need to do the right things, and I know that when I do the right things, the timing will be showing up, and that I will get the success that I want. Sometimes the timing will be not my timing because all the things, all the outcomes that we are seeing is not 100% our control. We put and influence a mass amount of outcome and result, but we do not have 100% success, 100% control over outcome. And knowing that, that maybe you influence 70% of results, and that 30% will be influenced by some other external things. And because of that, we're not able to have the 100% timing right. And we need to understand that. When you understand that, it's much easier to give yourself more space. But that means that you still give yourself 100%. You don't like reduce because, oh, like I'm not able to achieve a certain time, so I will not give 100%. No, you give 100%. Because if you do not give 100%, if you do not give all in at that moment, of course, you will delay even more because you're now not giving it first. Number six is don't worry about tomorrow. And I think that it's beautiful to have vision, it's beautiful to have your dreams, it's beautiful to have goals. That's beautiful. But I think that those dreams, goals, visions need to be set once in a while. Maybe, like if you do that, okay, let's do that in the morning. Okay, let's set expectations. So, okay, how my day to day will be included in that vision, in that dream, in that goal. But when you really look into that for 5, 10 minutes, maybe in the morning, at that moment, you need to forget about tomorrow because you already know that in the morning, you knew that this day is included in that future, in that tomorrow, in that vision of 10 years. So you don't need to think about tomorrow from that moment. You need to think about today and today only. It's a very powerful lesson because I was struggling for majority of my life and I still struggle sometimes being able to be present, being able to be today because tomorrow is built today. And if we think about tomorrow while we are still today, we'll not be able to build tomorrow. We'll not be able to use today for to build the view of tomorrow. It's a very powerful tool to really say that okay, I will think about this later. What I mean by that is that you block a time and you think about certain things during the day. So that means tomorrow you will say, okay, I will think about tomorrow from 5 to 5:30 a.m. And after that I will not think about it. I will think about next day tomorrow at this 5 a.m. again. So you have a block time when you're able to think about tomorrow, but other times you just think about today and today only. Number seven is true wealth is spiritual, not material. True wealth is spiritual, not material. I think that's in age be able to grow and go from like maturity and go I think the spirituality as well is a we sometimes could burn as well as new spiritual baby and it can be like when you are 30 can be a spiritual baby and then you're growing and mature spiritually and I think that spirituality is one of the things where you're able to be very wealthy and it can be poor. I think a lot of times people who are materially wealthy but because they are spiritually poor, they live unfulfilled life. I think that's one of the main reasons why so many people who are millionaires, they don't live successful, beautiful life because they just spiritually broke or relational broke. And I think both those are coming hand in hand because if you are spiritually rich, you understand that how important is relationships. So will not neglect relationships, nurture relationships, because spirituality leads to understanding what is true meaning, what is the value of life, because the value of life is relations, is serving others, is being able to be part of something meaningful and big. Number eight is sowing and reaping, and being understanding that that's everything what you reap will be based on how much you sow. One thing is beautiful thing to understand is that sometimes you sow and sow and sow and sow, and you don't reap yet. And a couple of seasons go by, and then you start reaping. But it's not you reap because you didn't sow. You sow. And now, sometimes, of course, you understand that sometimes people reap because other people sow as well. So, for example, parents was sowing and sowing and sowing and sowing, and then finally a child is able to reap the benefits of that work. And it might be that the things that you are sowing right now, maybe some people who did that you love will be able to reap the benefits. And that's a beautiful thing. I think that, and Andrew Tate as well, I was listening, and he said that number one thing that why he does, why he works so hard, is that he knows that after he will work very hard, some people will be able to reap the benefits. The people that he loves will be able to reap the benefits. It's such a powerful thing. That sowing and reaping. And so that's what you sow, other people that you love will be able to reap. And that's just a very powerful thing. Number nine is that vision, dreams, faith without works is dead. So then every single thing, optimism needs to have action. Everything needs to have action. I think this is a lot of times where we think about, okay, like, yeah, optimists are great, the optimists are the best. Faith is best. Vision, to have a vision is very important. To have a dreamer is very important. Goal is very, very important. But I think that it doesn't matter, neither faith, neither goals, neither dreams. Nothing matters until you actually are willing to put the work in. Again, the sowing reaping is very, very similar. But again, this is what kind of actions do you take? Because if you optimize but you don't take action, that's an illusion. Because you will never get that better tomorrow. You can hope as much as you want, but if you actually not put in the work in, doesn't matter because the future could future another come. So that means that optimism is supposed to be optimist when you actually take a lot of action because those actions and change, improvement will lead to better results. So there's a lot of truths I think that today we'll just focus on a couple of them, but there's so many beautiful truths and we actually start to implement, understand them, and really have that foundational understanding. It's much easier to really go forward towards something meaningful. So I hope you reflect, and I would love to really even write some main key main key takeaways or maybe main key truths that you are understanding that you believe is very, very important. Every single person is supposed to have those understandings in their lives. I would love to hear your thoughts about it. So I hope you just win and see you tomorrow.